Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Renee, and normally my content is all nursing related, but today I'm gonna do something a little bit different, and I'm gonna introduce a different type of healthcare careers on my channel. So I'm gonna start off first with Dr. Elizabeth Rivera, who has her doctorate in chiropractic medicine, and we're just gonna get to know a little bit about her and what it takes to become a chiropractor, what she does in a day, how many patients she sees, and who knows, maybe you guys might want to change your major and become a chiropractor like her. So let's get into this video. So all my questions are on my phone, so if you see me looking down a lot, that's why, because I'm reading the questions to her. So my first question for you is, why did you want to become a chiropractor?
That's a great question, Philly. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to become a chiropractor is because I always knew I wanted to help people. I wanted to provide value in someone else's life. And I always wanted to be in the medical field. I always knew my family was a nurse. I had a lot of family members that were doctors and nurses, and I wanted to be in the medical field. But I wanted to help people without using drugs or opioids or using surgery. So I instead became a chiropractor because I believe that sometimes, not that I'm against surgery or against medication at all, but I think there's a place and time for everything, and sometimes an adjustment can relieve pain without having to use medication. So I wanted to have a more natural, holistic approach to medicine.
Okay, and that kind of brings me into the next question I have for you. What parts of the body can you adjust? Because sometimes, I have bad knees, and sometimes my wrists crack. Can you adjust like those parts of the body?
Yeah, so with chiropractic, you can adjust not just the spine, right? You can adjust any joint in the body. Anything that moves, wrist, fingers, elbow, shoulder adjustments are great. Some chiropractors do just want to adjust the spine, but some that are, let's say, more sports chiropractic, they can adjust other areas of the body, wrist, shoulder, elbow, you name it, any joint in the body.
Okay, so this is more of like, I guess a personal question that I heard before in the past.
Right.
So I've been to a chiropractor in the past, one because of a car accident, and another one just because I was just feeling, just when your body, exactly. And one x-rayed me and the other one didn't x-ray me. So do you need to get an x-ray? Is that the proper way, or how does that work?
That's a really good question, because I get that question a lot in practice. I think it's sometimes preference. It depends what the patient is coming in with, right? Okay. There are many things that can cause lower back pain, for example. So depending on the history and the examination, the doctor can feel, okay, maybe I need to get an x-ray to look a little bit further, or maybe an adjustment is gonna fix that, right? It depends. There are a lot of things in the spine that can cause pain that sometimes by looking at an x-ray, you can really see what the root cause of the pain is. But I think sometimes it depends on what the patient is presenting with and what the chiropractor feels that the patient needs.
Okay. Let me get back to like the scripted questions, because those were just ones I had, in my head.
Those are good.
Oh, okay. How long does it take to become a chiropractor?
So overall, it takes 3 years and a quarter to become a chiropractor. Okay. And I'm saying this based on the school that I went to. I went to Palmer College here in Florida. Every school may be different. I honestly don't know. I can't speak for other chiropractic schools, but at Palmer College, 1 year and 3 months, basically 1 year and a quarter. That's what it takes overall.
Okay, and so that's just chiropractor college, and then you have to get your bachelor's first, right?
Yeah.
So in all, that was how many years? Was that?
So if you put it all together, because in order to get into and get accepted into chiropractic school, you need a bachelor's degree. Doesn't matter what bachelor's you have. It could be something not health related at all. But if you put it all together, it can take about 8 years to become a chiropractor.
Okay. So it takes 8 years to become a chiropractor. Can you specialize in something? And if you specialize, how much longer would that take to specialize?
Yeah. So that's one of the main things that I personally loved about chiropractic when I first was introduced to it. And it's that there are so many things, and you can branch out to so many different things. You don't have to just specialize in the spine. You can become a nutritionist, right, and do a lot of nutrition with your patients as a chiropractor. Yes, that's amazing. You could branch into more of a sports chiropractic and just treat athletes. You can focus on pregnant women. You know, a lot of one thing that I love is seeing my pregnant patients, because they have really good results with an adjustment. Because during pregnancy, there's so many ligaments and things in your body that are changing. Your physiology is constantly changing. So by getting an adjustment, they can have an easier delivery. They can be out of pain. A lot of pregnant women have lower back pain. So there are some chiropractors that just specialize on that, and I think that's awesome. Others only specialize in kids. All others, they want to see everyone. Others are only specialize in car accidents. And there are others like myself who I just became a certified functional medicine practitioner, and I want to be able to help people on more of a nutritional level. I want to really find out what is the real cause of their pain. Like, why are they suffering like this? What is the root cause of the disease that they're dealing with? And you can do that as a chiropractor.
Definitely, I can relate to wanting to be treated with something a little bit more on the holistic side than meds, because when it comes to that time of the month, all I do is pop medicine. So if I can get something that's, you know, that is not going to, you know, give me ulcers or something in the future, I would definitely try to, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So what does a typical day look like for you?
So by being a chiropractor, we start right at 9 a.m. seeing patients. But before we start seeing patients, in our office, we have a morning huddle in the beginning where we go over the patients for the day. We look into, okay, is there any patient that needs more attention today? Where is this patient at in care? What would be the next steps after today's appointment? What are they going to be doing next? How many new patients we have in the morning, and what are they coming in with? What's their main complaint, for example? And then I see patients from 9 to sometimes 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. And then I get a break, and then I see patients again from 2 p.m. sometimes until 6 p.m. So we do have long hours seeing patients, and I personally see all kinds of different patients throughout the day.
So what, because it sounds like, so you work in like a clinic, right? It sounds like it, or a doctor's office type setting?
So yes.
Okay. What other settings can a chiropractor work in?
So normally when you become a chiropractor, you go into private office.
Okay.
But you could work in a hospital. You could work with a football team, for example, as a sports team. That's a cool one, and I've seen a lot of chiropractors doing it, and I think that's amazing.
Do they have home care, like chiropractors?
Yes, that's another cool thing that a lot of chiropractors are doing, that they're going into more of a concierge chiropractic, where they go to patients' houses, people's houses, to deliver chiropractic services for them if they're not able to, let's say because if they're in pain, they're not able to walk or things like that, they can come to you.
What if I was a chiropractor and I wanted to travel the world? Do they have travel chiropractors?
So that's a good, I do not know, honestly, if that is something that people are doing. But with your license, you can practice in other countries as well. Yeah. I don't know if you can travel just for chiropractic services. I know you can go on mission trips with chiropractic and adjust patients and things like that, but I don't know if you're able to just do traveling chiropractic. I don't know. I would have to search that.
Going back to going to chiropractic school. So this, I'm not sure if you might know this one, because I know with nursing, if I wanted to become an RN, with my ASN, it's always good to go to an accredited school, because those credits can transfer over for my BSN. So when you don't go to an accredited school, those credits aren't recognized and it can't transfer over. So is it the same thing like being a chiropractor? When you go to chiropractic school, does your school have to be accredited, or it doesn't really matter?
Yes, 100% the school has to be accredited. When you finish chiropractic school, you still need your state license to be able to practice. So you would have to in order to get your license, you would have to have graduated from an accredited school. Yes. And going back on the licenses, in chiro school, you take a total of 5 different board exams.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, so that's something that a lot of people don't know, that chiropractors go through an extreme amount of learning and it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to become a chiropractor. There's a lot of studying that goes into it. I mean, we're talking about the human body, which is so complex, right? So there's so much to know about it. But yes, we do have to take 5 different licenses. During the first year, we take our first boards, part 1, they call it. And then we have part 2, part 3, part 4, which is you take at the end of schooling, and that is more of hands-on, where you have a doctor watching you perform their exams, and you have a real life patient, which is intimidating, but that happens on the part 4. And then you take a physical therapy part of it for boards as well. So it's a total of 5 board exams.
So I'm just going to compare it to nursing, guys, because nursing is the only thing that I personally know. So in nursing, obviously there's just one, test that you go, it's the NCLEX. In the state of Florida, you're allowed to take the test 3 times before they say, okay, you need to go to some type of remediation because it's not working, like figure it out and come back. Is there a certain limit that they kind of say, okay, you need to go to a class and come back, or?
There's definitely a limit of how many times you can take this board exam. I cannot say if there's 3 specifically, but there's definitely a limit. And those exams are basically meant for you to show proficiency on your studying, right? And as long as you do well in chiro school and you learn everything and you are in it for the right reasons, you should be able to pass those exams.
So did you always want to become a chiropractor? Did you always know as a child, I'm going to be a chiropractor? Or was there a major before that you said, maybe I want to do this? Or did you jump around a lot? Or how did this come about?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, because I feel like that happens to a lot of us at some point in time. We are trying to figure out what are we going to do with our lives, right?
Yeah.
What is the one thing that interests us the most? And for me, I always knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to work with people. I wanted to help them get out of pain. But I didn't know I wanted to be a chiropractor. I didn't even know where a chiropractor was, honestly, before. And so I went to a state college, and at that state college, one of my professors was a chiropractor. And he was a great mentor to me. And that was the first time I ever really found out, what it's like to be a chiropractor. And then I realized, wow, there's so much you can do. You can either, after you become a chiro, you can go into teaching if you want, right? And teach at a university, for example. So I didn't really know that that's what I wanted to do, but from seeing his experience and talking to him, I thought that was very interesting. Then I decided to go to the University of Central Florida, and I obtained my bachelor's degree. And even then, I didn't know if that's exactly what I wanted to do as become a chiropractor. I thought I always wanted to be a doctor at osteopathic medicine, because I love that they also work with the spine. And they do manipulations, not necessarily adjustments, but they also do manipulations of the spine. And they're a little bit more holistic as well. So I thought I wanted to do that. And then I started working for a chiropractor, and that completely changed my life. And that was
so were you a chiropractor assistant, or?
So I started working with a chiropractor as his front desk / chiropractic assistant.
Okay.
And he was a family doctor, and I would see patients coming from babies to elderly patients, and he was able to help them. And I was like, oh my goodness, how are you doing that? That's so cool. So that really, really inspired me to become one.
So I just want to kind of interject there and say that noticed that in the beginning she didn't really know what she wanted to do. And even me, I don't know if I told you this before, but I wanted to be a PT in the beginning, and then I ended up changing to nursing. So I just want to let you guys know that no matter where you are in your journey with school or your education, it's never too late to go ahead and switch out and say, I want to do this career instead, or even go out and try to shadow. Or like she did, she went and got a job in a chiropractor's office and she realized like, wow, like this is for me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the classes in the beginning, they kind of like merge together.
Yeah.
I had to take AMP 1 and 2. I had to take chemistry, right? You had to take the same classes, bio. So a lot of the classes, they're the same. So you can still be undecided up to a certain point. So I just kind of like wanted you guys to know, like, it's never too late to decide what you want to do, and you're never too old. So don't say I'm too old to,
That's right.
because it's never, because 7 years is gonna pass regardless.
That's so true.
Whether you sit on the couch and just like stare at this girl or stare at us and say, man, I wish I was, like a doctor like her, it's gonna pass. So why not do something that you truly believe that you're gonna be happy with within those 7 years? So just to put that in there.
Yeah. And it's okay to change. Let's say you like one thing now and then you choose and you like something else. It's totally fine. And at the end of the day, it's your life and you decide where you want to go. You're the captain of your life.
Exactly. And that brought me to my next question. Would you recommend to anyone to becoming a chiropractor? And then branching from that one, what did you wish you knew before becoming a chiropractor that you would tell somebody?
Yeah. So the first one was, would I recommend someone to become a chiropractor? And the answer is yes, 100%. Because I love when I have a patient like I did last week, where she came in and she could barely walk because of her pain that was traveling down her legs. She could not walk. She left the office walking, and that right there, that's everything to me. So of course, if you're interested in changing someone's life, you're interested in the medical field, and you want to do that without the more natural approach, then 100% I would recommend becoming a chiropractor. Yeah. And the second question was,
what did you wish you knew before becoming a chiropractor that you can, shed on future baby chiropractors out there?
One thing I wish I knew before becoming a chiropractor is that, the school, and Palmer, it's a great school, the leader in chiropractic, and I love Palmer. But one thing I wish I knew was more of the business side of it. A lot of chiropractors, when they go into practice, they go into private offices, private practice. So there's a lot that goes into it, right? How, like, bringing in new patients, marketing, that's huge in a chiropractic office, and having that constant, what am I trying to say? Having the constant flow of patients, right? That's huge, and there's a lot of that goes behind that they don't teach you in school. So that's one thing I wish I knew, how much work it takes to run a practice, one, by yourself, and the inflow of new patients.
And I think that's something with like every program, because I know if you guys have watched my previous videos, I have mentioned before that I wish in nursing they taught us how to communicate with the doctors and how to do like charting notes better. So I kind of feel like that's maybe in like every program, like you wish they taught you like just like a little crash course and like another background of how to do certain things, because like some things you feel like you gotta fend for yourself on learning.
And I just thought about it, one thing I also wish I knew was sales. I wish I knew sales because sales is everything, right? Sales, we sell ourselves every day, right? So I wish I knew more about that, and I think that if you know that before you're going in, and when you graduate, you know a little bit about sales, marketing, bringing in new patients, I think that going to school, that would make a huge difference.
Is it typically hard to find a job when you come out of chiropractic school? Because I know a lot of people, they go for some degrees and it's really hard for them to find a job. So did you find it hard when you came out?
I personally didn't find it hard to find a job, only because I did my internship at a doctor's office and I ended up being hired right after graduation. A lot of my friends found jobs in chiropractic fairly quickly. Others started their own office, which is awesome. Yeah, you can start your own office right out of chiropractic school. So it depends. I think it's 50-50, but for the most part, it's pretty easy, I think, to find a job.
Okay, so this will be my last question. What advice would you give someone who feels like they want to become a chiropractor, but they're still not sure it's for them?
Yeah, so an advice I would give to those that want to be chiropractors but they're not really sure, and I think it goes with any career that we may not feel that that's the right path, I would say shadow a doctor, shadow a chiropractor, go to a chiropractic school and meet with advisors and have them give you ideas or advice, or sometimes you can get a feel for the school or the career if you shadow someone and speak to someone. So,
and you can definitely watch videos like this where you get more knowledge about the world of chiropractic medicine. But that's basically it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna definitely link Dr. Rivera's Instagram in the comment below, so you guys can check out her page. She does a lot of different things on her page. She has where she does adjustments on people. So if you guys like the sound of hearing the little cricky sounds, definitely check it out. She drops a lot of knowledge on how to get relief from pain through other things than just taking a leave or Tylenol. So definitely check out her page. It's gonna be in the in the description box below. So go show her some love and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm gonna be coming out with much more videos with different type of healthcare professionals, so you guys can see that other than nursing, there's so much more out there that you can do in the world of healthcare. So
that's right.
I'll see you in my next video.
Thank you.